Hello everyone, this is Pedro from Pythonista with one more video. And today I'm gonna talk about a little bit about my impression of Fabric. About 3 weeks ago, Microsoft announced in the Build conference Microsoft Fabric, which was kind of like very impressive. And I understand what Microsoft is doing. It's just culminating something that Microsoft started, I would say, 9 years ago when they launched. I think it was 2013, Microsoft Power BI. It's about 10 years ago. And then Fabric, it's like a culmination of that movement that I'll credit one person in Microsoft, which is this guy here, Amir Nutz. He's the one that kind of led the introduction of Power BI. And then there are an interview in the blog that I can put in the link here. It's not a very good quality interview that Casper, Power BI, very prominent blogger, interviews him and tells the story of Power BI, which Power BI started actually in Excel. So everything started in Excel when they brought the OLAP analysis, what we call analysis services engine on the Microsoft BI stack into Excel, and then they called that Power Pivot, and then that was a huge success, and then they packaged that into another product called Power BI, and then they had like a modeling tool, a visualization tool, and a ETL tool. And in a way, in what way Power BI is revolutionary? Power BI was revolutionary because it empowered the end user to do analysis. And let's be honest, for the most part of my career, I've been an analyst, like an Excel data cruncher, and IT has been a big blocker for me to get access to data. I would say now I'm more a data engineer than a data analyst, but the Power BI empowers, as well as Excel, the end user to get the data from many sources, quickly transform the data and do a good analysis. So I think that's the trend that Microsoft saw, and coupled with another trend that's also happening in data engineering. Coincidentally, when I was thinking about the video that I was going to do today, I saw this post from Benjamin Rojan, where he was saying that data engineering is dying, because it's not, I think in the way it's not dying, but he tells about how quickly it's changing, and it's moving from a completely software developer, Java, Hadoop, very complex infrastructure, into a more user-friendly SaaSification of the products, and also a platform that is integrated where they can easily spin up infrastructure, do the transformations, and quickly arrive into a beautiful visualization or analysis or machine learning model or whatever the business needs. And Fabric does that. So, and what Microsoft is doing is SaaSification the whole BI stack within a tenant that looks exactly like Power BI. Before, all this part of the stack was in Azure. Like if you think about cloud, it was on premises, but now it's in the cloud. And with Fabric, Microsoft is bringing everything that's like platform as a service or infrastructure as a service into a SaaS product that looks exactly like Power BI. And the beauty of the Fabric, it is at the same time you can have very high level abstraction drag and drop look and feel that anyone can easily pick up. At the same time, allows you to do coding, allows you to do automation, allows you to do CI/CD, source control, which is the work of a data engineering. And it's also extending the capability of the person that's doing Power BI. Now will be able to now easily do more data engineering things. That's amazing. Without any other delay, I'm just gonna now jump into the Fabric UI and do a demo. So Microsoft Fabric has got these things called experiences. It looks exactly like Power BI. At the moment it's in a demo. I still have got 38 days left, but if you register, you can do that for 60 days. So the experience that they do is those here, but they are pretty much the same, but they look like exactly like Power BI. Actually, this is my Power BI tenant, but I'm in Fabric here. But let's do the data engineer one. And the way, if you know Power BI, the way the things are organized are in workspaces. Here are the workspaces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spin up a new workspace called Demo Lakehouse. So I'm doing this because in this workspace I'm gonna spin up a lakehouse, and I just say new, and I have all these services that I can spin up as a SaaS product. So for example, let's do this. I'll do a lake house, and I call it my lake house. You can call it anything you want, just have a naming convention. This is just a demo. And with a click of a button, I have a lake house spin up. I have a data lake. I have a Spark cluster that I don't need to manage. It's all there. I can bring these with an integration too, but just to make things easier, I'm just gonna upload from my computer just a CSV, and I just upload. It's a small file. I have the file here uploaded. So, and then I've already had spin up here. I can go to my file, load as a table, which is a Delta table that's already connected to a Hive where I can do queries. Isn't this amazing? So that is a table which is being created at the moment on the fly. If I go to here, I have a SQL endpoint where I can run queries in this table. Look at that. Select star from products. Now, I'm just gonna keep this window opened. I'm just gonna open another one on that same fabric. And I go back to the lake house. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go to my workspace, which is the demo lake house. And I'm just gonna open my lake house. And I'll create a new notebook. I call this notebook. Now, with this notebook, as I said, it's already connected to a cluster Spark. I don't need to worry about it. Now I'm just gonna write some code here in Spark to get that data frame. Just gonna change a little bit here. So I'm just gonna load this in a data frame. And as I run this cell, automatically, I don't need to worry about it. There's a Spark cluster running. That's gonna load that CSV into a data frame. With that, I'm just gonna create a Delta table easily, just like that. And I call it like, I'm just gonna show the concept of managed product. I have another video that I do talk about Delta Lake. And then that is a table. And this is available on my Lakehouse if I refresh here, and also available in my SQL endpoint. So it's the same data, but the tables are available here. I'm just gonna run a little bit more code here. I can do a table that's not a delta table. Can you see this one? I'm writing delta, but if I write just a normal Spark table, like in Hive, and I'm gonna call it manage non-delta products. And this table will pop up here. Yeah. But can you see that there is no triangle on that one? If I go on the SQL endpoint, that table will not be available, only delta tables. You can see this table is delta. If I go here, click put view files, I can see the Parquet file and the data logs with the JSON here. So let's continue in our notebook. I'm gonna create like a external table. Let's say you wanted to do external. And I'm just creating a folder called external tables, and then using that same data frame and write to that location. And I'm gonna call these external products. Yeah, external products. It's a delta table. And I'm gonna refresh the files as well. And I have external tables. And then if I go to external tables, you can see that external table has got the Parquet files as well as the JSON here that has got. So now, if I wanted to use SQL, I can do, and I can describe the history because it's a delta table. It has got a history here. But another thing that I would like to show you is that I realized if I go to the endpoint, only the managed table appears here. The external tables will not appear on my SQL endpoint. Interesting enough. But another beauty of that I really liked about Fabric. So what's the beauty of these external products? A delta table keeps history. So if I do any change in this table, let's say I wanted to delete some rows of this table. So that's external products. So any row that list price is greater than 2000, and I do a SQL. So 33, I think it's 35 rows will be affected. But if I run that history, I can have everything recorded in the logs. Can you see that there is a version 0 when it was created, and then there was a delete operation. And then I can restore this and time travel. But the difference between the managed table, I'm gonna drop the three of them, and we'll see the difference. So they all disappear from here because they've been dropped. So the metadata in the meta store has been deleted. The product I haven't dropped. But if you see the external table data, it's still there. I think probably I gave a good understanding so far from the experience. One thing that I find interesting is this. In the Power BI or Microsoft stack, things would go this way. You have the source, you move to EDW, you do ATL on the load and do some transformations. And then you have to put in another database, which could be the Power BI engine or analysis service, and do your model here, and then do the dashboard from this data set. In Fabric, you eliminate this step, because once you load a managed table, a Delta managed table on your Lakehouse or in your data warehouse, it's already a semantic model. I'll show you what I mean. If I go to endpoint, I still have got the product table. If I go to my Lakehouse and I go to endpoint, and here there is this thing called model, which is already a table that is like a Power BI table. And then I can write measures. Let's do a new measure. I still count products because count rows of the table products should work. If I press enter, I think that's gonna save. Yeah, it's here. So now I can do a new report, which is a Power BI report. And then I can have my measure here and do my measure. So if I do a cart, that's at 259 rows. I can preview that. So $259. That's it. It's all in one, close together, source. It's there. It's amazing. It's easy. I'll be honest that I'm impressed, but at the same time, there's a lot to go. If you see Power BI launch 9 years ago and what it's now, it's a much more mature product. The same way Microsoft is gonna make this Fabric more usable, not in preview as it is right now, but it's gonna be awesome. So I hope you liked the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, click the bell to receive notification, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions about the Fabric, let me know. I'm really excited what lies ahead. Thanks for watching.